Hello, this is Dale Matthews. It's Inside News with Dale Matthews and Mike Jones. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Dale. How's it going this afternoon? It is a beautiful day, by the way.
It sure is. If it was like this all the time, everybody would want to live here. So it's a mixed blessing. We bring you the news before anybody else does. And so Mike's got a pretty amazing piece of news, especially considering yesterday over with Lipsick, which we've talked to you about before, what that means, and the decision that they made that absolutely, positively, without a doubt, according to Arthur O'Hare and all three commissioners, there's not going to be any more SRS payments. You can just kiss that goodbye. Mike, tell us why that is not necessarily true and probably not true at all.
Yeah, well, because, and listen, I'll give credit where it's due here. I got Ron Smith posted the link to this, and I went and investigated it and saw, hey, what an amazing piece of news, because we're always hearing from Simon Hare and Cheryl Walker and anybody else there who wants to push the agenda of getting, on to 753 here with the state, that the SRS payments are done. That's it. That's, after we run out of the money that they're going to give us, or probably did give us in early 2016 here. That's it. We're done. There's no more money coming from them next year. And so in seeing, here's the title of this article. Rep Gosar, it's Gosar, and so could be a number of different pronunciations there, but he leads bipartisan secure rural schools effort. Now, as we stated last night, secure rural schools applies to a number of states. It's not just here in Oregon. We get in our little bubble here and we think that only applies to us, and it doesn't. So anyway, let me just read the first part of this to you. Washington, D.C. Congressman Paul A. Gosar of Arizona released the following statement after submitting a bipartisan programmatic request this week to the House Appropriations Committee advocating for full funding for the Secure Rural Schools Program, SRS, for the fiscal year 2016 and beyond. Okay, so it's not dead as they would have you believe. And, it's very, very similar to Bill Clinton being on the stand and they're asking him, are you having an affair with that woman? Well, not right now. I'm sitting here in a chair. So when you ask Cheryl Walker or Simon Hare, what's going on with SRS? Well, no one in Washington is working on that right now. They're not even, it's not even on anybody's radar, which would, is supposed to lead you to believe that never again will they ever consider SRS. So consider that dead. And knowing that that's dead, we've established a false fiscal cliff that when we fall off, we all die. And because we all die, we better do something about that right now. And so let's go run into the governor for some matching funds. And by the way, beware, because we'll be coming at you around the backside with some stealth taxes to bring our contribution to that up so that the money we get from them is more. But so I thought, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to send an email to Simon Hare and Cheryl Walker and say, hey, what's up with this? So I emailed Simon. I said, Simon, I guess you can't really say no one in Washington is talking about this anymore, right? And then I put the link to this particular article in there, which names 22 other people, including Pete DeFazio, who's one of our congressmen. And I said, can you please point me toward documentation that tells of the end of SRS? And he answered, let me get that, get this to come up here. Why is this not moving like it should?
Hopefully in the future, we won't have to deal with problems like yours ever again.
Yeah. Yes. Um, hmm, am I looking in the right box? Stand by. Oh, and so his answer to me was the legislation reauthorizing SRS expired in October of last year, 2015. Which of course it did. So what? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that new SRS legislation isn't coming down the road. But so this is where they're saying, yeah, I'm not having an affair with that woman right now. I'm sitting here writing an email to you, telling you that the reauthorization of SRS expired in last year in October of 2015. You moron! Don't you get it? It's over. Yeah, that cycle is over, just as it is every time they do one of these cycles. It starts, it finds the middle somewhere, and then it ends. And then there's another one coming up. This is how they operate. But they would have you to believe that, boom, it's over. Armageddon has arrived.
Mushroom cloud.
Yes, yeah. the end of the world is now here. So he continues. Honestly, it's an election year for Senator Wyden. Who knows what will happen?
Really? So does he think that Senator Wyden is telling us this because, well, that's really a lie and there's going to be nothing? Wyden is not my favorite person. None of them are. But Simon Hare has more credibility?
Yeah.
Maybe Cheryl Walker does.
Yeah, it's silly, but you know what? They've thrown this out there, and the way they do it, well, hey, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. I was telling you the truth. You just weren't telling me the whole truth. You were creating an impression that was false, which is, there's a lot of that going around. They've been trying to pass a levy with false impressions for years here. I'm getting sick of crap like this. These guys, they have to go and listen. Can we fire up Simon's recall again when this is all, when the smoke clears here? Can we just fire that up again and get rid of him too? Because this is him lying to us. This is Cheryl lying to us. This is Keith lying to us. And if they had an ounce of integrity, one of those guys would stand up and say, hey, you know what they're saying here, this is not necessarily true. No, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put out a united front because they have a legacy that they that they want to have at the end of all of this. And that doesn't include not getting new money.
Okay, so at the end of today's meeting that they had in the little back room where they're deciding what's going to happen next, which is important because of what happened at yesterday's lip-sick meeting, there were 2 TV stations and the Daily Courier there. And as each of them left, I left the camera running. It fell over and burst into flames, and I walked out into the hallway and talked with them. Both TV station people said, yeah, you're probably right. They were there yesterday. And I said, at that little lip-sick meeting, and I said, that the 2 major flaws in this are, one, that they're saying SRS payments are definitely over. It's over. Don't even ask about it. It's done. It's over. This is Arthur O'Hare, the finance director. It's done. It's over. There's nothing going to happen. Nothing. And they all agreed that it was. Well, they don't know. I tell you, if it was really over, I might even say, well, that does sort of sound like we're approaching an emergency. But it's not. Nobody knows. So that's the big lie. And then the second thing is that they were asked a couple of times by their fellow members on that board, well, who wants to step forward and say, what does it mean, minimally acceptable level of public safety? What does that mean? What is it for you? And at today's meeting, Simon Hare even said, well, what does that mean? I thought the lip-sick guys were going to say. And Keith Eck was like, and Cheryl Walker was like, don't ask that question. Nobody at that meeting yesterday wanted to say so. And the 2 TV folks said, yeah, they sure didn't seem to want to touch that one because, look, first, if they identify minimal, that's all they're ever going to get. Second, they don't know what minimal is. Nobody knows what a minimally acceptable level is.
Well,
what is that?
I know what it is for the purposes of this conversation, as much as they can possibly get.
That's
That
right.
is what is minimally acceptable. The maximum that they can possibly extract from you without, pitchforks arriving at the courthouse. That is what it is. Do not doubt me on that one.
Then I talked to one other journalist who said, well, what about the 47%? And I said, no, wait a minute.
That was a journalist.
If you go to a basketball game and one team gets 53 points and the other gets 47, do you hand an award to the 47 people?
Yeah, I'm amazed. There's obviously a talking points memo floating around, and it's fairly recent because I've only heard this in like about the last month and a half. So it's got to be fairly recent. If you know of the source of this talking points memo, send me the information at this address, because somebody is putting this out there as an argument to make like it makes some kind of sense that, what about the 48% or the 47% or whatever, the minority side of this, which was almost 50%,
for 20 years.
Yeah, right. And like somehow they're supposed to get, well, why don't you give them half or 3/4 of it, because they've been trying so hard? I mean, this are we now taking our electoral process and turning it into everybody gets a trophy? Is that what this is?
Only if they keep losing the vote. They did every 20 years. They want you to hand them the vote, whether they have 6% or 46%, because they can't win. They're just not winning. That's all. So what we will do is we're going to talk with this guy right here. We're going to do the best we can to get an interview with him. Do not think, because of his last name, that we're talking about Ghostbusters. It's Paul Gosar. Okay.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm going to hold you to that.
So we will do everything that we can to get the information for you. This is where you find it. It's the only place where you're going to see this stuff. And tonight, we are the first ones to tell you what's going to be in the voters' pamphlet. This is the most fascinating thing on TV, where Mike and I are going to read aloud to you. So gather all the kids around and listen to what we have to say, because we are going to read to you the voters' pamphlet statements. It's in 2 parts. The top part says, I was educated, can't you tell? And that kind of stuff. Where have you worked before? Like a job interview. And then to me, the most interesting part is part 2, which is, what do you plan to do? We can only hope that they're going to say what they plan to do. And so Mike is going to start out. We're going to start with the candidates for position number 2. There are some people who did not put in anything at all. Tony Webb put in nothing. Mark Kelsey, of course, put in nothing. I was surprised. Shane Kristen put in nothing at all. I thought he just didn't put in a photo. He didn't put in anything. So it's not even going to be in the voters pamphlet, as far as I know. Or maybe just that top part. So
not
Mike
serious candidates.
Well, I don't think so. Mike is going to start with Sandy Casanelli. Don't do it in a falsetto voice. Just tell us what she has to say.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that to her anyway. We need commissioners who represent the will of the people. A majority of our electorate has voted down 8 levies or taxing districts since 2004. But this current board has continually tried to circumvent the will of those voters. Now, the latest money-grabbing scheme from this board is they want the governor to take over the county. It's all for the tantalizingly, no, it doesn't say Lee, it just says tantalizing. Why did I want to put a Lee on the end of that? It's all for the tantalizing allure of some short-term matching funds under Chapter 753 of Oregon Laws 2013, previously HB 3453. Not a sound fiscal decision considering the strings attached. They could tax you without your vote. Choose commissioner candidates concerned about your wallet and who it's and who know it's okay. Choose commissioner candidates concerned about your wallet and who know it's ludicrous to expect an impoverished citizenry to replace funds legally owed to us by the federal government. Incidentally, crime statistics don't justify the rampant county-wide public safety emergency they claim has occurred since 2012. The actions of this board don't justify it either. These commissioners have steadfastly refused to give money to the sheriff from road reserves, from unexpected forestry money, or from funds they originally allocated for unnecessary water testing. Don't believe the lies. We don't need commissioners who will sell out our sovereignty and abdicate their authority to the governor. This is clearly contrary to the vested power granted solely to the commissioners by our county charter. Scrutinize the candidates. While in office, I proved that I wouldn't betray the citizenry. I wouldn't cave under pressure, and I wouldn't compromise on conservative principles. I didn't give up on Josephine County, even when unlawful recall petitions were illegally certified by the former county clerk. Keep Josephine County sovereign. Vote Sandy Casanelli for commissioner. We can't tax ourselves into prosperity.
Now, here's the voters' pamphlet statement. About a month early, we do this every time there's an election. The Courier has plenty of space, but they never do it. And here's our version. Here's our reading to you what Dan DeYoung had to say about himself.
Now, this one you should read in a falsetto.
It was written in third person.
Okay.
Born and raised in Grants Pass, Dan DeYoung has served our country in the U.S. Navy. 4 years, honorable discharge. The community as, quote, the voice of Boatnick, with the Grants Pass Active Club for 30 years, and various other organizations in the Valley. Running a business for 34 years gave Dan the opportunity to have firsthand experience in operating a budget, managing personnel, setting goals, and learning the value of an honest day's work. Dan has taken these tools and put them to work for the city of Grants Pass for the last 6 years. Dan's extensive business background will bring a common sense approach that is desperately needed in county government and government in general. He'll take that valuable experience and put it to work for Josephine County. Quote, Josephine County is my home. It's not broken, but we face a serious challenge to not only ensure the safety of our citizens, but to restore a sense of community and pride. To use this land of natural beauty and resources to further support and improve our lives. I hope to take my experience in volunteer service, business, and government leadership to be part of a team that brings fresh clarity of purpose and efficiency to our county while exploring and implementing long-term stable solutions for generations to come, close quote, Dan DeYoung. One more quote. I've witnessed Dan DeYoung's innovative thinking and leadership for 30 years. Don't waste this vote. Dan has the guts, integrity, and perseverance in this job needs. Josephine County needs a leader like Dan. Signed, Kurt Heater.
Okay.
Mike.
Okay, Nathaniel Duarte. Okay, let's make Josephine County safe and prosperous again. It's time for a new generation of leaders to bring energy, hard work, and a new vision to Josephine County. To overcome our current challenges, Josephine County government must focus on 3 areas. Number 1, prosperity. The people of Josephine County are struggling economically. We must take concrete actions to stimulate robust economic growth. This includes streamlining the building permit and development approval process, to support job creation in the private sector. 2, safety. Funding public safety must be Josephine County's top spending priority. I will not support raising property taxes to do this. We cannot tax our way to prosperity. We must better manage our county-owned lands to provide funding for public safety. 3, freedom. Freedom must be defended. We've seen the Board of Commissioners take actions that would harm freedom. Recent examples include the 4 junk ordinances, which failed by a landslide. Why should Josephine County have rules and regulations which exceed state and federal mandates? As your county commissioner, I will work hard to make this vision a reality. Getting there won't be easy. Breaking through the status quo requires we work together. Getting bogged down in negativity and anger gets us nowhere. Standing together, we will rebuild a safe and prosperous Josephine County. To learn more about Nathaniel Duarte, visit voteduarte.com. Vote Nathaniel Duarte for commissioner. Fresh ideas, positive direction, principled decisions. A new vision for Josephine County.
Many people have asked about Harriet Harris. She's running for position 2 that would replace, theoretically, Keith Heck. And here's what she has to say. I have lived in Josephine County for nearly 20 years. Moving her, that's what it says, upon retirement from the U.S. Navy with the rank of captain. In the Navy, I developed leadership, management, and budgeting skills. As an OSU certified master woodland manager, I have assisted the OSU staff in teaching woodland management classes and have provided guidance in property owners on safety and have provided guidance to property owners on fire safety, wildlife, and resource protection. As a family forester, I've been active with the Small Woodland Association and in 2014 was named the Josephine County Tree Farmer of the Year. I have volunteered in the Juvenile Corrections Center. Through, quote, Lifeline, I have worked with almost every agency in the county that deals with people in crisis. I am painfully aware of the problems facing our community. I am running for county commissioner to address the causes of these problems, not just their results. And then in big capital letters, my experience can make a difference. I am pursuing this office without an axe to grind against anyone, but with the belief that I have the integrity, training, and energy to make positive differences. All the candidates agree on issues of county prosperity and sound fiscal management. I have 40 years of experience in balancing budgets and allocating limited resources. I have a proven track record of building consensus among diverse groups at a national and local level. These same lessons can be applied to the challenges in our county. That was Harriet Harris. Now, by the way, Mark Kelsey has no statement in the voters' pamphlet. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Keith Heck. I stand as a fiscal conservative and as a caring social conservative. I do not allow others to define my character or personal integrity. I do not shy away from listening and learning from others, even those with whom I might disagree. As we, with uncertainty, face our future in Josephine County, my track record, both professionally and personally, shows my ability to make decisions without being bowed by those who speak loudly but carry no responsibility for those decisions. My track record in our wonderful county shows success at drawing people together to accomplish great tasks. I have done a whole lot more than merely speaking about what I will do, but I have laid tracks for 20 years on what I have accomplished. I do not have to be the one always talking, but acting. I do request your support that will allow me another 4 years to serve as your commissioner. Please do vote for Keith Heck, County Commissioner, position 2. I thank all of you who continue to quietly support me in life and work.
We are bringing you these voter pamphlet statements first and as completely as we can. This next one is from Dale Matthews. I attend more of the commissioners' meetings than they do. In fact, since 2000, I've attended more board meetings than all the other candidates combined. My fondest wish is that the commissioners take some time off now. The voters of Josephine County need a break from levies. Therefore, I will oppose any new taxes for at least 4 years. I'm a fiscal conservative. The county home rule charter is our local constitution. Citizens voted that commissioners will be paid no more than $30,000 a year. I agree to live by that, pay all the taxes, and donate the rest to charity. If others are not going to follow the charter, why are they running? Commissioners are merely public servants. We pay them. When people who are asked to pay bills decide to fund the animal shelter and not juvenile detention, you may disagree, but this is America. Don't call the governor to force us. There's over $1 million in discretionary funds which can and should go to law enforcement. We want this done. No more half measures with the federal government. They have broken the contract for payments to our county. Either pay what you owe or give us the land back. Every commissioners' meeting must be public and televised. They will begin with an invocation and pledge of allegiance. We need all the help we can get. www.votefordale.com.
Mm-hmm. All right, this next one is Joseph Rice. I will restore decisive leadership as your Josephine County Commissioner. I will represent the will of the people, protect your individual liberties and freedoms. I will clear governmental obstacles to employers. Your priorities are mine are protection of your individual constitutional rights, liberties, and freedom, so you may live as you choose and prosper. Community safety, economic security that promotes job retention. Honor the Josephine County Home Rule Charter. Maintain county sovereignty and values by not handing over local decision making to Salem. Mandate coordination between federal agencies and Josephine County, allowing access for responsible use of all our natural resources. Increase transparency in all areas and actions of county government. Fund your government without tax increases or levies. As your county commissioner, I understand that government must operate within its means. Employers and families have had to tighten their belts as we have all experienced the pain of an economic downturn. It is unreasonable to ask for more tax money, while employers struggle to stay open and families make hard financial decisions. We cannot tax our way back to prosperity. We as a community must build our way back to it. You wish to live in a safe county. As commissioner, I will approach community safety differently by implementing a countywide community watch program that involves all areas and members of the county. Resident sheriff's deputies belong in our communities as peace officers, promoting community policing. Militarization of our law enforcement is not a Josephine County value. Restoring your trust will only result in conducting the people's business openly and honestly. Learn more, josephrice2016.com.
Okay, now Tony Webb did not put any kind of statement or picture in the voters pamphlet. So the last one for position 2, which would run to replace Keith Hick, would be Paul Walter. Here's what he writes. Dear voter, for the past 20 years, I've been predicting that we will lose, that's what it says, America if we keep electing or re-electing unprincipled scoundrels and sellouts as our representatives. You trusted and elected the wrong people who lie to you on a daily basis. Well, we have arrived at the edge of the cliff. This election cycle is our last chance to either save what's left of our county and country, period. If we elect the wrong people, we are surely going over the cliff. However, that said, we have several good people running for county commissioner. Ron Smith, Bill Hunker, Tony Webb, and myself. You choose. Please, if you love and want to save this country, don't vote for anyone that is a PERS recipient or works for the government, because they will only serve their own and the bureaucrats' best interest and not yours. May God wake you up to save America. I'm a self-made successful businessman, senior editor of newswithviews.com and www.newswithviews.com/southernoregon.htm. Sincerely, Paul Walter.
Okay. And let's see here.
Shane Christen put nothing in the voters pamphlet. He is first alphabetically for position 3. He has nothing in there.
Right. Let's see here. And then this is Bill Ertl. Candidate statement for the voters pamphlet part 2. It's all about you, Josephine County voters. I would request you cast your vote for me to be elected commissioner. Josephine County can be the best county in the United States with my leadership. I have 3 primary goals to accomplish for you. County governance. Your county charter is not structured to adequately serve you. I will propose a rewrite for voter approval, expanding commissioners from 3 to 5 and geographic representation. Economic development. Good jobs in our county should be part of a diverse economy. Your county is blessed with the abundant natural resources of timber, mining, agriculture, including family farms, rivers, and people that can fit into an expanding service-based economy. I will focus on the Highway 199 corridor as an opportunity to connect the economic future of Grants Pass and Cave Junction. I'm in favor of the infrastructure to support the Merlin business area. Taxation and public safety. Public safety, law enforcement, require attention and flexibility. I'm opposed to relinquishment of JOCO powers and obligations to the state or transferring road funds. I support adequate funding with voter-approved resources. Personal. I value the practice of my Christian faith. I believe in small government, and the best government is local. I serve the local Republican Party as chairman and precinct committee person. I have experience in business and professional organizations. As a retired military officer, it was a distinct privilege and honor to serve you and my country. I look forward to serving you as your elected commissioner.
Okay. Here is the voters pamphlet statement about a month early from Bill Hunker. Government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. I'm running for commissioner to bring transparency, accountability, and trust to our county government. Without transparency, there's no accountability. Without accountability, there is no trust. As your commissioner, I will remove bureaucratic barriers to economic development and create a welcoming and supporting environment for industry, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. Fight to keep our property taxes the lowest in the state. Make public safety funding the highest priority within our budget. Aggressively pursue our legal rights to responsibly use the timber and minerals in our county. Protect your private property rights. Keep you informed of all important decisions before the BCC and pay attention to your input. Continuously work to ensure that Josephine County lives within its means. Josephine County is an exceptional place to live and can also be a great place to do business, create jobs, and develop a thriving economy. I have experience to help make that happen. Our county government needs to learn to live within a budget the citizens can afford and prioritize spending according to the priorities of the citizens. Government exists to serve the people. As your commissioner, I will tell the truth, keep my promises, and always hold myself accountable to you, the people of Josephine County. I do not support calling the governor to declare a public safety fiscal emergency, House Bill 3453. For more information, please see my website, www.billhunker.com.
Okay. Okay, this is David Martin. Moving forward, I believe the Board of County Commissioners has been locked into methods that are too much a part of the past, not effective in the present, and will not be able to provide for our future. Prior lack of positive active communication has severely hampered the ability to bring this community together and seek a future that is both economically feasible and united. As your new commissioner, I will project a strong leadership presence and work aggressively to pursue new fiscal strategies to put our county on the path to financial security. I will work to remove the barrier of communication and deliver an atmosphere of openness while negotiating an acceptable vision that can carry us forward so we can be the architects of our own future. Our home is here. This is where we raise our kids, make our living, practice our faith, and enjoy our lives together. We need to work to preserve our community and culture against the onslaught of personal and political agendas and be ever mindful of the impact of our decisions and how they affect the community as a whole. The people we affect are our family, friends, and neighbors, not faceless data and statistics. As your next county commissioner, I will both lead and work tirelessly to restore trust, trim and dedicate to public safety from existing budgets, work to prioritize the budget for safety first funding, work with the state's legislatures to change laws and reduce mandates, lead the way for economic development to prosper in the whole county.
Okay, just a couple more to go. Still position number 3, running for the position that is not being challenged by Cheryl Walker. This one is Lily Morgan. Thank you for the opportunity of seeking election as your county commissioner. If elected, my pledge to you is to work tirelessly to strengthen confidence in our county government, keep our community safe, minimize waste and bring more jobs and businesses into our county. I will work with my fellow commissioners and county staff to earn your trust. Together, we can make a dramatic improvement to the performance and integrity of our county government. Focusing on public safety as a priority is where I will start. As a public safety professional, I have seen firsthand the chaos directly caused by the collapse of public safety funding in Josephine County. We absolutely must address this crisis with a permanent solution that grows our economy. We can and must do better as a community to make Josephine County safe for our children and their future families. I will lead by teaching by I will lead by reaching out to citizens and our public safety community to build consensus around new and creative solutions to make our community safe. She underlined that, which is why I'm emphasizing the words.
Right, of course.
As part of the city council, I fought to prioritize spending and cut projects to rent jail beds. We reduced fees to make the process easier for new businesses and create new jobs in the community. Updated the charter to give voters more say on vacancies. Created an audit process for higher transparency and accountability, and returned tax dollars after completing a redevelopment agency. I will apply my experience and skills every day to make sure you and your family feel safe and respected in your dealings with your county government. www.votelilymorgan.com.
Okay. Mark Seligman for position 3. Are you tired of the fiasco running our country? We as citizens deserve much better. We need a commissioner that truly represents the average hardworking resident. I promise never to support a property tax levy or a state tax levy or fee. Our number one problem is poverty, crime, and homelessness. Josephine County residents need economic development. This is the solution to our problems. Our youth need hope and employment. Our seniors need to know I am against tax levies. I support the cannabis industry to enrich business and individuals. I support tourism, responsible logging, and medical services. I will not play the politically correct game to gain support. Voters should be careful not to elect property tax-oriented candidates like Lily Morgan, who changed their positions merely to gain votes. My role as county commissioner is to be open to all productive ideas of the citizens. I serve you, and I will not impede the economic growth by undue regulations. I am a strong supporter of the Constitution and the county charter. I believe in civil liberties. I will work with the state legislators to make Josephine County better. Federal money is vital to our county, and I will do my best to keep it flowing. Most important, I will show integrity in all of my actions and deliberations. Prosperity for our beautiful county and compassion for those that are in distress. Vote Mark Seligman for County Commissioner, position 3.
This next one I get to read is from Ronald A. Smith. American values, hometown roots, strong, capable leadership for today and into the future. Born in Grants Pass, Ronald knows firsthand the issues confronting economic development and job growth in our county. He has been involved in our community working to find solutions to these challenges. Member, National Policy Board, People for the USA, President, People for the USA, Illinois Valley Chapter. Overseer, Grants Pass, Fruitdale Grange. Board Member, Josephine County, POMA? P-O-M-A?
Yeah.
POMA? Okay, sorry.
It may be an acronym for something.
POMA Granges? POMA Granges. Okay. Member, Josephine County Farm Bureau. Voted Citizen of the Year 2001 by Illinois Valley Cave Junction Chamber of Commerce. As your county commissioner, it is my desire to work honestly and diligently to maintain and improve the quality of all the citizens of our Josephine County by doing the following. Strive to improve and maintain a business-friendly environment, helping to increase good jobs wherever possible, eliminate unnecessary government, red tape, hindering economic development activity, help pave the way for new business and help our current businesses stay profitable. Support our largest job-making businesses such as agriculture, timber, minerals, and building materials. Support our Josephine County Criminal Justice Program. Focus on solving the funding troubles. Work with all community organizations in alleviating the serious drug and homelessness problems in our county. Work to bring various state and federal agencies to accept and recognize the mutual responsibility of an active, constructive coordination program that exists in our laws, giving a strong local voice over management of federal lands within Josephine County. Transparent, open door policy, committed to honest, ethical public relations with all citizens, acting daily to secure and protect the people's rights to life, liberty, and property. That was Ron Smith, Ronald A. Smith.
Yes. And now is Raymond Smith. We need a change of the guard. Our current county commissioners are out of touch with the majority of the public. They have supported nuisance ordinances rejected by nearly 80% of the voters and yearly property tax levies that are continually rejected. They have refused to represent the people's voice at the state level regarding legislation that directly affects this county and usurps local power. HB 3453 and HJR 21. My position on issues. I will not support any new taxes for 4 years. Sustainable funding cannot be achieved without a sustainable government. I will work to streamline government and eliminate wasteful spending. We should prioritize spending by redirecting available funds to staff and support public safety. The federal government has a contract with the O&C counties, which is not being met. We should demand redress. If denied or ignored, they should be taken to court. I support responsible, sustainable use of natural resources and local processing of timber products. We have a county home rule charter in accordance with the Oregon Constitution and adopted by the people. I support and will adhere to the charter. I will oppose any legislation designed to remove or circumvent local self-governance. All meetings should be public with public input allowed. There can be no transparency without public inclusion. In order to effect change, we need to elect 2 new commissioners committed to representing the people. In our society, we elect representatives, not rulers. Vote Raymond Smith for commissioner.
Well, keep in mind that this is the first time we've read these. This is the first time anyone's read these except for the people who wrote them. And you might also want to keep in mind that the people who wrote these needed to figure out what to say that would hold up for 2.5 months before the primary. So they wrote them, I think, pretty carefully.
Yeah.
So we're happy to tell you what everybody has to say. We will continue doing that. Tell them what's going to happen, because nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, Mike.
Tomorrow, we're going to be putting on the Inside News Candidates Forum at the Cave Junction County Building in Cave Junction. And that's going to go from 5 to 8 o'clock. We'll probably start around 5:30. As we have 10 candidates that have confirmed, and that'll keep us going for about an hour and a half to 2 hours with question and answer period at the end. The format will be 5 minutes for each candidate to make their case to the electorate there, and then there'll be a brief question and answer period, maybe a couple of minutes right at the end of their statement. And then after all the candidates are finished, there's sort of an open floor for questions and answers. And so I expect this to be really fun. The last time that we went to the Josephine County Republican Party's Meet the Candidates night, that was really fun. We got an opportunity to hear from a lot of different candidates. You're going to hear from a lot of different candidates, and many that you didn't hear from in the first forum are going to be there tomorrow night. And if you can't make it there, we'd love to have you come there. But if you can't make it there, it will be streamed live on badcounty.com. So you just go to badcounty.com anytime after, say, 5:30, click on the Friday tab there at the top, the Friday button, and that should take you to the live stream. And as soon as the live stream is complete, that will become a YouTube video in perpetuity.
Now, what's also going to happen is in a month, on the 13th, at the Grange is putting on a candidates forum. So we had talked with them about maybe doing one in the month. They said, oh, we're going to do one. And so we're going to be there streaming it live, because you will be able to see all of those things right here. So you can go. Obviously, you can go. You might have questions you want to ask, but they will do it in the same format that we're doing. It's not going to be what the Courier does, which you turn in questions and they throw away most of them and then filter the questions. And they ask the questions the way they want to. Nobody else is doing it that way. Mike, I think it's going to make them look bad.
Right. And probably some candidates like that. In my personal opinion, you don't want candidates who like that. You want candidates who can take the fire and answer the questions. But that's just me. But I'm looking forward to doing both of these. We're going to learn. We're learning a lot and honing the skills as we move along. And so we're hoping to have a better and better presentation for you to learn all about these candidates. I don't think any election that's taken place in recent memory here is there going to be so much information available to people to help them in making the decisions about who they want to have as their next commissioner.
And that's what we're doing. That's the right thing to do, no matter who it is. It's still the right thing. We put it out about all candidates and read them fairly, if not completely perfectly. We read them as fairly as we could. We're going to continue doing that. That's the kind of guys that we are. And a month after that, we plan on doing yet another one just before the elections. And a few days following us, apparently the Courier is going to have 2 nights where they're going to have candidates come up and answer filtered questions. It's my personal bias. And I hope that we can be there and at least videotape that, if not bring that to you live. So, because if you don't have cable TV and nobody out in Cave Junction does, you can watch this. we're going to be the place that you can go to get information about all of these things. That's what we do. And it's the right thing to do, in my opinion. Mike?
Yep. I concur.
Okay. So you have tuned in to the right place, but now you're just going to have to tune in and drop out, or whatever it was that they said in the 60s. It's time to go home. Oh, they probably already are home, Mike.
Yes, I think they probably are.
This show is over.
Yes.
Like they said, what was that with Matthew Broderick? Go home. The show is over.
Yeah, push the button, for crying out loud.
Ferris Bueller's day off. This is our day off now, too. Thank you.